What about fasting?
Fasting. I feel like it's a 4-letter word of late
Yeah.
because there's so much information out there. And I guess the way that I can bring it back to women's data is when we are looking at all the fasting information that's out there, especially holding a fast till noon or after, we have to look at it at the perspective of chronobiology and the female body. So if we're looking at chronobiology, and this is how your body responds over 24 hours, we have a certain circadian rhythm, and our circadian rhythm can be reset through light and dark and through food intake. So if we are holding a fast till noon or after, we see in the research that we are resetting our chronobiology and our circadian rhythm so that we have a misstep in the way that our hormones are responding. So we have a natural cortisol rise. It's called our cortisol awakening response. And then we also have perturbations or pulses of luteinizing hormone, of testosterone, growth hormone, and all of these things throughout the day that rely on a cellular signal from our circadian rhythm. So if we're looking at fasting and holding that, especially fasted training, we see in the literature for women that it actually misfires. Because if we're looking at why people are fasting, for the most part, it's looking for a calorie deficit to help with body composition change. But for women doing fed training and pulling that fast break to early, meaning around 7 or 8 or half an hour after you wake up, we don't have a change in our appetite hormones. When we hold a fast, the hypothalamus is perceiving us as being under threat of not having enough nutrition, and it's also in control of our appetite hormones. So we see in the research that when women do fasted training or hold a fast till late, they end up moving less throughout the day.
Yes.
And they end up craving more simple carbohydrates and eating more throughout the day, which is not what they're after when they're holding a fast for calorie deficit. So if we want to take fasting into a way to do it for women, it's more that time-restricted eating, where you're fueling during the day, you're fueling your training, and then you stop eating with dinner, and then you have that overnight fast, which is really normal eating, but then you are garnering all of the things. And then when people talk about mitochondrial effects of fasted training or autophagy,